Need like 5th time's the charm at this point. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, good to be back, especially after Bad Blood. That was a very, very good show. So, yeah. Felt really good. Felt really good, that show. And I don't know. Like, again, and I said this during my I said this during the lead up to Bad Blood, that it was very much a show to hype up SummerSlam, which is the next pay-per-view. So, yeah, like, it was good to get hyped around it because there was some good stuff happening, but at the same time, I know that there's more important stuff, more interesting stuff that a lot more people are going to enjoy, like, this month. And, so yeah. Now it's just a matter of me hopefully getting everyone there, and hoping that, they can, enjoy. Because that is what matters at the end of the day, is, that everyone enjoys it. So yeah, should be a good time. And shall we jump into it, as for some reason the Shield theme starts to play? I love that. But no, as we remember from the last few weeks of this, the main event of this has already been confirmed. It is Jacob Fatu defending the Hardcore Championship against Bryan Danielson. I'm sure to talk about that during the stream, once it starts. So let's get it done. Let's do this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ECW. I'm your host, as always, Scott Silver, coming to you live from Jacksonville, Mississippi.
Scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Sydney, Australia, weighing in at 233 pounds, Liam Rogers.
And we start off this show jam-packed, 25,000 in attendance, with the man who was able to get a win over his own son at Bad Blood, Liam Rogers. Still continuing his path of hoping that other people can see him in a better light. The fans in attendance are definitely starting to get on his side. Whatever Jackson wanted to try to find in the match with him, hopefully he found it, because that caused him to lose the television title. But now Liam will have to face a king, but not one he's familiar with. The son of Brian Pillman, Mr. Lexis King.
And his opponent from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 223 pounds, Lexis King.
Lexis King coming down, first time coming into this brand new arena design. Wanting to see if he's the third king that can try to topple Liam Rogers. Of course, Lexis King's had quite good matches in ECW, especially the one with current ECW champion Jai Phillips. But let's see how he can go against another Australian underground member. to start off the show, Rogers and King, and we are officially underway, and immediately Rogers with that spin cutter, wasting no time again, just trying to show people that he is not the bad guy that we once saw him at. Tried to go for a Phoenix splash there off the springboard, but came up short. Now Lexus will capitalize. Trying to rake at the face there quite quickly. Rogers now back to his feet, spinning up, trying to get a pin over Lexus, but that did not come into fruition. And now King with trying to get his own offense, but now collar over tie up, trying to fight for control quite early, and now Lexus will have it, bending the arm of Rogers. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, bending it even more. Lexus very much showing his wrestling background now, but now Liam tipping it back onto King almost immediately. Quality fight of control right now between these two, trying to wear each other down as the fans get even louder and louder. Headlock by Rogers. Now Lexus King tripping down Rogers, getting out of that whole ordeal, but a reversal from Rogers with that elbow strike, and now a running bulldog. He'll go onto the apron, calling for Lexus to get up to his feet. What is he thinking too? Rolling through, but being thrown down by Lexus King. And now Lexus trying to say, whatever you can do, I can do better. Springboard clothesline. Well, just as we thought that Rogers was going to stay down, he quite literally gets back up into the corner, trying to wait for a good opportunity, and he gets that Canadian Destroyer DDT that we saw him pull out at Bad Blood as well. Clothesline though from Lexus King. Both men currently evening each other out. Lexus now in control, throwing Rogers into the ropes now and tripping him up as well. Kick to the back of the head. Will again try to go to the outside, try to go for the top rope, but Rogers throws him off that corner, going for the pin. But a kick out at 2. Now, try to go for something there, but didn't quite catch it. Thankfully, he was able to stand back up, but a backbreaker though from Lexus King. And now being choked out, foot to throat in the corner. Lexus King, a win for him, especially over Liam Rogers, could mean so much for him. Now the top, catching him and throwing him again down onto his knee. Now Lexus King, top rope, high reward, and he gets a splash, well executed by Lexus King. Now middle of the ring, what's he thinking? What the hell? Immediately, Rogers has plans of his own, and he gets it. After that weird maneuver, what happened there, but regardless, Lexus King into a pin, a kick out at 2. Now, both men striking for strike. Over and over again, slaps to each other's temples. Over and over and over again. Lexus telling him to bring it, and that's exactly what Liam is going to be doing. Caught by Lexus. And again, another catch, and now both men throwing stiff rights at the other, throwing him over and over to see who will get down, and Rogers has it despite bleeding at the nose. And he gets a Falcon Arrow finish. What is Rogers thinking of now? Out onto the apron. Trying to roll through. And he gets the cutter. Top rope now goes Rogers. Calling for Lexus to get on his feet. This could be a disaster face first. Into the mat. And now into the ropes. Clyde trying to go for a clothesline from hell, but Lexus was able to reverse it. That could have been aired. That was the move that put Jackson out at Bad Blood. And now Lexus trying to get him over his shoulders, but now look at this. Rogers rolling through and getting bankrupt! Bankrupt connecting middle of the ring! But a kick at it too! Not enough to put him away just yet. And now Rogers has entered fight or flight response. Moonsault connecting. Now off the ropes. And up in the cutter. Pop-up cutter from Liam Rogers. And that's it. And wait, what the hell? What the hell? That's Ethan King! That's Ethan King! We haven't seen him since Clash of Champions, and he's lowering a steel cage around the ring! Now reversal, now Rogers fighting back against the man who screwed him out. And now both men stuck in the cage face first. Rogers taking out some aggression on the man who betrayed his trust. Both men were able to be taken care of, and now we enter the Mad Dragon's Lair. The ECW Cruiserweight Champion, Ilya Dragunov, has arrived.
The following contest is a handicap match. Making his way to the ring from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 187 pounds, the ECW Cruiserweight Champion, Ilya Dragunov.
Wait, did I just hear that right? Did the ring announcer just say that this was a handicap match? The last time I recall, Ilya Dragunov agreed to have Tommaso Ciampa take him on one-on-one one last time after Ilya successfully retained his title at Bad Blood. That's what I saw on the match sheet before this show went live. Tommaso Ciampa versus Ilya Dragunov, but the ring announcer just said handicap. I'm not sure if he said something wrong. I don't know if my eyesight is not as good as it used to be. I'm not sure. But either way, we need some answers. Dragunov seems ready. I guess we will see when Ciampa makes his way down to the ring. Of course, the DIY colors in full effect. Accompanied by Gargano himself.
And their opponent, at a combined weight of 400 pounds, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, DIY.
And there again, it said, and his opponents at a combined weight. So, is Dragunov being forced to take on both of them? Surely that can't be right. Well, the fans are definitely not happy to see either men. The last few weeks, they've definitely been on the latter part of people's perception. Dragunov. And wow, it seems to be right. Dragunov taking on both members of DIY, Ciampa and Gargano, in the same match. Granted, Dragunov has defeated them both in the past, but not both at the same time. Thank God that they're both not in the ring at the same time. Traditional tag team rules for this handicap match. Immediately utilizing the tag team advantage right here. DIY throwing Dragunov up into the air, but quickly getting back to his feet to try to uppercut Gargano down to the ground. Again, the worst part, and you can ask anyone who's ever been in a handicapped situation, you can do so much damage and be so close to victory on one, but then they just tag out to the other. It's right here again, using the tag team advantage drop kick from Ciampa, sending Dragunov to the outside to try to get some breathing room. The referee will start to count again. Traditional tag team rules suggest that a count must be started. Now Dragunov trying to get him some strikes of his own, trying to continue his lineage as the Cruiserweight champion. And look at that. Johnny Gargano striking Ilya, trying to get him off his balance, to try to make sure he's thinking about 20 different things and not being able to focus on the person right in front of him. And then right there again, we saw Ilya Dragunov getting a little bit more frustrated in that second strike. A third, and he may just snap a lot easier than he is in former matches. But now the knee strike to Ciampa, and again, that third strike, and you can see Ilya just staring him down. Of course, if he attacks Gargano too much, that will result in a DQ, and look at that. Dragunov thinking, if you're going to hit me, I'm going to hit your boy just as hard, faking him out for the DDT, and stopping Ciampa from getting in to a possible tag, and another senton. Going for the cover on Tommaso Ciampa. But a kick out. And now roll-up pin from Tommaso. Roll-up pin on our champion. A kick out at 1. Now again into the corner, and again DIY full effect on their tag team partnership. And now Gargano, the lighter one of the few, had a quite good match with Dragunov the weeks leading up to Bad Blood. Now both men currently going counter for counter. Into the ropes now goes Gargano, leapfrog, drop down. Now what is Ilya thinking? Never mind. Tommaso reversing him, getting that power struggle. Same thing could be said about Dragunov. Dodging the possible grapple attempt. And now he gets the Hurricane Strike! Hurricane Strike by Ilya Dragunov! And that right there is the other equalizer for any handicap match. The fact that they are completely within their right to break up pinfalls and submissions, practically giving them a permanent lifeline. Dragunov will definitely have his work cut out for him. He's taking strikes over and over again to Johnny Gargano, not letting him get much in there. A tag to Tommaso. Now Tommaso will take full advantage of that hot tag, as Gargano currently laying on the outside area, trying to regroup, trying to catch a breath. Elbow strike well executed by Ciampa. Try to go for a cover. A kick out at 2. Gargano there getting back up onto the apron. Showing Ciampa that he's good to come in when he needs. Now look at Ciampa. Stiff right to Dragunov. And will now tag in Gargano. Now immediately throwing him into the corner. Wait a second. A double super kick. And now again, trying to catch things outside. Try to go on the apron. Ciampa stopping him. And now look at this. Ilya Dragunov trying to get a pin in. A kick out. Ciampa now on the other end of a clothesline. Well executed by Ilya Dragunov. Now we'll try to bend the head of Ciampa any way he sees fit. And now bending the neck. Submission attempt, but Tommaso getting out of it almost completely straight away. Ending a combo with a knee strike. The fans making their feelings known. Tagging into Gargano once again. And another Hurricane Strike! Almost instantaneously the Hurricane Strike, but can't capitalize because Tommaso's there to break up the pin. What is Ilya thinking of doing now? Power bomb! And look at Ciampa right there. Strike stopping him. But look at Ilya not letting anything stop it. H-bomb attempt, but look at that! Gargano got the foot up. Ilya's now bleeding from the skull. And a DDT from the springboard. Super kick and another one to the bleeding face of Dragunov. Going for the cover. But a kick out. Dragunov somehow still in this. Now, left and right. Tags in Ciampa. Now, reversal into his own corner. And now chops that would make Ric Flair a very happy man. Dragunov getting some distance. And straight there! Foot first across the skull in DIY's own corner. And now reversal from Ciampa. Again, just trying to get some distance. Try to go for a big boot, but didn't catch it all the way. But now neck breaker. Try to go for a possible fairy tale ending. DDT though. As we see Ilya just trying to get the other two to bleed. Double axe handle straight to the neck of Tommaso Ciampa. And look at this now. Ilya Dragunov with that power bomb. Looking at him thinking that he can't cover him just yet. Knowing that Johnny Gargano right there could ruin any pin attempt. And now another Hurricane Strike, but now on Tommaso Ciampa. Gargano there to break up the pin. And now you can only imagine how angry the Cruiserweight Champion really is. So now, top rope. And an elbow strike to the back of Tommaso Ciampa. And now showing the strength German suplex. And a knee straight to the side of the skull. But Ciampa now back to his feet. And A diving clothesline. Tags in Johnny Gargano. And now look at this. Ilya trying to capitalize. Second wind. Back body drop. Now getting some chip damage in. Senton as well. And now trying to go for a clothesline. Came up short. Reverse Gargano's clothesline attempt. And now the strikes from the Cruiserweight Champion, DDT. And what is he thinking now? Off the ropes. Spinning through. And a clothesline as well. Well executed into the cover. But look at Ciampa right there to break up the pin. And now Gargano trying to capitalize. Locking Dragunov into the Gargano escape. Gargano escape. Only inches away from the ropes. And look at Ilya Dragunov getting into a favorable situation to bust Gargano open and get out of the submission. Try to go for a hurricane strike once again. But Gargano a little bit too far away. Now he will take the reward and roll with it. Super kick. And now we'll tag in to Tommaso Ciampa, the only man who hasn't spilled blood yet in this matchup. Dragunov and a hurricane strike! Hurricane strike to Ciampa! Just thinking that would be enough. Now, nice overhead suplex. And just keep throwing Ciampa down onto the mat until it works. That is the motto right now for Ilya Dragunov, and the fans in attendance are completely fine with that. Now off the ropes. Try to go. Try to grab that neck and follow through, but he couldn't get it, and now Ciampa. Elbow straight into the face of Dragunov, and the fans have immediately turned on him. And now look at this, trying to finish it. Fairy tale ending. Cover by Ciampa. And he picks up the win. DIY, the collective, picking up the victory over the Cruiserweight Champion. Trying to crush his dreams, trying to crush his spirit. You can only imagine which one of these two men want to try to take the championship from him next. But what happens now? Ilya was so close to taking them both out. He just needs a partner. But who could he possibly find to even the playing field against Ciampa and Gargano? All of these moments where he was so close, all of the power bombs, all of the H-bombs, all of the offense that Ilya had in this match would have done it in a one-on-one competition, but it just wasn't enough. That would have done it right there, and look at this. Ciampa finding his moment, hitting the fairy tale ending, the outcome he wanted at Bad Blood.
Here are your winners, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, DIY.
Congratulations, DIY. Coming out on top against the Cruiserweight Champion. Let's see how this goes. And here we go, women's competition. And if we can talk about the women's division, there is one group that stands amongst them all in ECW, led by that woman right there, the champion, welcomes Demolition.
The following contest is an Extreme Rules match. Making her way to the ring, representing Demolition from Chicago, Illinois, Cora Jade.
Cora Jade trying to do the dirty work of Demolition. Of course, women's champion Roxanne Perez, Money in the Bank holder Maya Rogers, and the leader of the Twisted Generation, Cora Jade, trying to deal some damage, trying to teach the women's division, especially after Bad Blood, that 6-women tag match that they emerged from. But Cora, I think, has her work cut out for her, cause the perfect storm is here. Jade fucking Cargill has descended.
And her opponent from Orlando, Florida, Jade Cargill.
The woman that joined Stephanie Vaquer's team for Bad Blood. Of course, Roxanne Perez talking to ECW General Manager CM Punk for this match. Demolition, an extension of Cora Jade, trying to punish Jade Cargill for standing on the opposite side of the ring to them at Bad Blood. You can only imagine to see how this goes. Normally, situations like this, they bring in their muscle, they bring in Maya Rogers. But it's very much Jade Cargill versus Cora Jade. The fight of the Jades right here in this women's competition. Here we go, Cora Jade and Jade Cargill. And we're officially underway, and immediately utilizing her own speed against her, Cora Jade off to a fantastic start, sent on as well. Kick to the back, kick to the spine, but Cargill will get back up to her feet again. This is similar fights that Jade Cargill has had to fight in the last few matches that she's had, full stop. She has always tended to be the stronger, most physically gifted person in a match versus someone who is a little bit more speedy, a little bit more resilient. And of course, that is the form of Cora Jade right now. Kick out at 1 on that pin attempt. Of course, the ref watching the other 2 members of Demolition, they're not getting involved just yet. A springboard crossbody attempt, but came up short. And now Cora Jade back into consciousness, flipping Jade Cargill over, and the stomps immediately being thrown down. Thrown around as we see a table getting brought in by the other members of Demolition. Any weapon completely legal. Perfect ECW rules right here. Sledgehammer to the midsection as we see our ECW Women's Champion taking off the turnbuckle padding for a possible later usage. I'd like to remind everyone that after this, we will hear from our current new ECW Television Champion, Karrion Kross. But right now, Jade Cargill taking Jade to school. Has her in. Powerbomb position, sit down as well. Now out, trying to look for some more weaponry. Absolutely no problem in that. And now the high levels of steel, the steel ladder. You see Cora Jade try to go for that baseball slide, but came up short. Throw Cargill back down on that closed table. It may be closed, but god damn it still hurts. Now Cora Jade springboard, Hurricane Rana connected well. Immediately kicking up as well. Trying to see what else she can do here. Jade Cargill, though, getting some distance. And a spear as well! As we see Maya Rogers taking off that other padding of the turnbuckle. Kick out. And also throwing a chair in to be safe. We have tables, ladders, chairs, and sledgehammers right now in play. As Cora Jade power bomb position and face first into the exposed steel. Now trying to choke out Jade Cargill. Now we'll go for a cover. Try to win it for demolition. But a kick out at 1. Not yet done. Now off the ropes. And a sweet Inzaguri. Well executed as she brings Cargill back down. And look at this. Cargill reversing into a power slam. Now into the ropes goes Cora, and a big boot that sends her so far across the ring, going for the cover to try to capitalize, but a kick out at 2. And now Jade Cargill, we know what this is, has her up, will do the 360, and Jaded! Cover! And a kick out at 2, not for the full 3, but it was so close. Now the sledgehammer in the midsection. Cora Jade to her feet now, but being met with a bunch of strikes from the Perfect Storm. Reversal to get out of harm's way. Get a moment to think, and another Inzaguri. Now, what is Cora Jade thinking? Doesn't matter. Jade Cargill able to reverse, but gets thrown into the ropes. And a discus right there, elbow first. And now the table. Thinking about whether to place it or put it in the corner. Thought something else as she saw Jade Cargill get back to her feet. But now hoisted in herself, flapjack. Straight on, face first onto that table. And now Cora Jade looking to finish it. Double underhook and the DDT. Cover! But a kick out at 2. Not done yet. The fans asking these women to fight forever. And at this point, they might as well do so. See both Jades just staring off at one another. Still trash can being brought in by Cargill. Face first goes Cora Jade. Busting her open just like that. The referee just watching on. Look at all of this go down. Cora Jade just trying to find any life for her to keep going. Look at this, Cora Jade getting back into it. Look at this sledgehammer Back in the hand of Cargill. Cargill now taking it. And now using it for herself. Look at this. Cora Jade now. Now look at this. Cora Jade just trying to do whatever she can to wear down Jade Cargill. Cora Jade definitely the underwoman coming into this match, but is definitely shown to be holding her own. Now another trash can being brought into play here. Jade Cargill with the table, but getting stopped, and immediately underhook DDT! Underhook DDT by Jade Cargill, might be out, but a kick out. Not yet out. And look at this, using the ropes now. Jade Cargill still able to kick out, and Cora Jade is furious. Running Bulldog. Drop kick to the back. You can tell that Cora is desperate for any kind of moment, and look at this. Cargill throwing her around like she is nothing. Now thrown into the official, and look at this. Jade Cargill, Jaded! Cover! And picks up the win. Being able to testify demolition for another day. A good match for both women. But it just shows how goddamn good Jade Cargill really is. Right there, we thought that this was going to be it. The first Jaded. Thinking that that was going to do it, but it just wasn't enough to put away Cora. There we go, the first underhook DDT, thinking so confidently that that was going to be it. The fight, of course, going to the outside. But it just wasn't enough. Even with a second one. Even with a second one. It wasn't enough to put her out for good. Right here, this Jaded solidified that Jade Cargill will stick around and be a thorn in the side of demolition.
Here is your winner, Jade Cargill.
Congratulations, Jade Cargill. As we now move on to a promo, we get to finally hear from our new television champion, Karrion Kross. And here he is, our new television champion. The man who toppled off Jackson Rogers without Scarlett by his side. Quickly talking about how he is now the new face of the television division. And that he challenges anyone to try to stand against him. He will show the worst in them. No matter what. And that he will make everyone fall and pray. What the hell? Who the, oh my god! That's MJF! Maxwell Jacob Friedman! Saying quickly that he didn't intend to come out here, but he has something that MJF wants. That he wants to show everyone, especially Cross, that he is better than him and that he knows it. And Cross said, "You're on." Seems that MJF is getting what he wants. What the hell did we just witness? Here we go, semi-main event after that shocking moment of MJF coming to. We are greeted by the ECW champion, Jai Phillips.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Sydney, Australia, weighing in at 255 pounds, the ECW champion, the chosen one, Jay Phillips.
Jai Phillips, fresh off the heels of finally getting rid of AJ Styles from his equation, finally silencing him, no longer being able to be a thorn in Jai's side. Jai finally stands strong, looking to pursue other matches, other opponents. Now let's see who comes forward. And it seems the megastar has answered.
And his opponent from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 241 pounds,
L.A. Knight coming through, a former United States champion, a former TNA heavyweight champion. Of course, a former NXT North American champion. And everyone being able to chant his name. So good to hear. Here we go, Jai Phillips, L.A. Knight, yeah. Here we go, and immediately the high knee. And a springboard attempt, but came up short. Now look at this, L.A. Knight. Trying to get some springboard action. Drop kick sends Phillips down. now Phillips able to get back to his feet. And now shot to the back. And now look at this. And it gets that stunner. Well executed. Of course, we saw the best of Jai Phillips in that main event of Bad Blood. Finally belittling AJ Styles, finishing him off with his own move. Styles clashing AJ to finish it. Now look at this. LA Knight catches that leg from the springboard attempt. And now will capitalize, but just as I say that, Phillips with that boot. Both men just countering each other no matter what they do. So now both men locked in, collar and elbow tie-up. And Phillips immediately taking charge. A phenomenal wrestler that Jai Phillips is. And wait, the lights just going out. And AJ Styles music just hit. What the hell? I thought this was over. Jai doesn't think it. And what the hell? I thought we were done with this. Face first with the steel chair. I thought we were done with this. I thought we were done with the Styles. The steel chair to the face of Jai Phillips. And a kick out, nowhere near done. And Styles just leaves. He leaves just like that. We thought we'd seen the end of Styles. We thought the Styles clash would have finished it. But no. Continuing to try to make Jai Phillips' life a living hell. And now LA Knight might be able to capitalize. Drop kick sends Phillips down. Of course, after this, we have our main event, the Hardcore Championship on the line. Jacob Fatu, Bryan Danielson. Well executed by LA Knight. Try to go for that knee strike, but Jai able to get out of harm's way. But a stiff right will send him back down to the canvas. Now, what is LA Knight thinking? The former Eli Drake. Jai able to get some distance between them there. What is he going to do with it? Drop kick to the side. Running to the side so he can try to get that shot. Well executed. But now look at LA Knight. Right there. Onto the backs of the legs now. Reversed into the corner. And now the knees into the midsection. And if it ain't broke, use your feet to fix it. Finishes it up and tries to go for the double stomps. But look at this. LA Knight countering. And he gets it. No, he doesn't. Phillips breaking him back down. Trying to go for that neck breaker. But now flying forearm from the springboard. Telling LA Knight is not done yet. Now the strikes from the Chosen One. Again, using his wrestling knowledge to his advantage. But so did LA Knight to try to break away. Now he gets back to his feet. LA Knight trying to go over the top, and look at Jai Phillips. Smart in what he's doing. Able to get into the ring as LA Knight was in the air. But look at this. LA Knight BFT! Blunt force trauma! Cover to Phillips! But a kick at it too. Not done yet. Just as we were giving props to Jai to getting back into the ring as LA Knight was trying to do that jump to the outside, immediately gets back into the ring, hits him with a blunt force trauma almost instantaneously. And now again that springboard drop kick in good force. But a kick out at one. Phillips needs to get onto his feet, needs to get some aggression into this if he wants the outcome to go into his favor. You see the lacerations on LA Knight's back. Drop down. Leapfrog. And a hits up and a stiff fast ball punch. And now both men just countering each other non-stop. Phillips getting down from the hold, and look at this! Holding him! Flatline! Flatline from Jai Phillips! Cover! But a kick out at 2. Both men have kicked out of each other's best moves. And the fans feeling as if this is the next big thing. Both men showing wear and tear at this point. And he gets the stomps to the midsection. A nice version of the coup de grace by the Chosen One. Throws him back into the ring now. Springboard. Crossbody connecting onto the spine of LA Knight. Clothesline. LA Knight back in control. Middle rope. Drop kick just as Jai got up. Now look at this, LA Knight. Blood force trauma. Another BFT, and that has to be it. But no, it's not. Phillips still finding some way to kick out of it. Elbow drop from LA Knight, and now we'll look for a third. The hat trick of blunt force traumas, and he gets the third. Cover by LA Knight, and he gets the victory. 3 blunt force traumas and an assist steel chair from AJ Styles. I think I'd be confident to say if AJ Styles right here, if he didn't connect with that steel chair, Jai Phillips would have won this match. The fact that he has to come in here after he lost fair and square at Bad Blood just means how much pettiness is in the mind of AJ Styles. Just when we thought that there was a chance for Phillips to get back into this, the flat line there, well executed, almost out of nowhere, but it just wasn't enough. The multiple shots to Jai Phillips' skull was enough to put him away for good. Right here, the second one. BFT, blunt force trauma. Was just kicking out of that one, and all it took was one final BFT for Jai Phillips to get pinned.
Here is your winner,
Congratulations, LA Knight. We can only imagine that we'll be seeing him more and more. But now we must focus on our main event. Title match time.
The following contest is an Extreme Rules match. And is for the ECW Hardcore Championship.
You heard it right there. As now, the American Dragon descends from the heavens. Bryan Danielson. There isn't a company that he has been in where he hasn't held a championship. And he is looking to continue that legacy. But first, the American Dragon must conquer the Samoan Werewolf. Danielson seemingly ready for whatever Jacob has to throw at him. But we will soon see in seconds. Here he is. With the Ula follower around his neck and the title around his waist. The Samoan Werewolf has crawled out of his den. This match has been a long time coming. Bryan Danielson winning a chance to challenge any champion he chose, Jacob Fatu. We've seen a different side of this man as of late. He went from Clash of Champions, being beloved and praised by everyone, to attacking Bryan Danielson in many different circumstances, and now he's on a very negative side of the fans. Will that change in this match? I do not yet know. But it's definitely changed the layout of this match. Here we go. I'm ready. You're ready for our main event title match. There it is. That's what it's all about. The hardcore title as we go to the ring for the calls.
Introducing the challenger. From Aberdeen, Washington, weighing in at 209 pounds, Bryan Danielson. And his opponent from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the ECW Hardcore Champion, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Here we go, the title being held, passed off. As we saw during the introductions, the boos for Jacob Fatu are just growing louder and louder. Now that is what is on the line. Here we go. Jacob Fatu, Bryan Danielson is now officially underway. Immediately super kick from Fatu. Almost like clockwork. When I said we've seen a different side of Jacob Fatu, I was not exaggerating. He's been angrier. He's been faster. He's been tougher. It's another drop kick. And from the springboard, that crossbody. Danielson finally getting up, trying to get any kind of momentum, but Fatu just shutting him down. And now finally using some of his own blows, throwing him over the apron and throwing him the outside. Will quickly meet him there for some weaponry. Going shopping, finding a trash can in amongst it, and straight goes in the back of the head of Fatu. Look at this go. Elbow. Fatu able to break out of the hold. But now hoisted up to Bryan Danielson, and a power bomb onto the barricade. And he walks away as if it was nothing. Steel chair now coming in, but Bryan Danielson able to roll out of harm's way, rolling away from the weapon usage. It just wasn't enough yet. As Jacob Fatu, top rope. The table coming through, and he doesn't get it. He's too distracted by setting up the table to worry about the flying werewolf that went straight for him. Has Bryan Danielson underestimated the Samoan werewolf? Well, it seems not. Look at that! A spinning spike directly onto the concrete floor. Now we'll throw Fatu back into the ring. It's where the pinfalls and submissions must take place. And look at this Samoan drop. Well executed by the Hardcore Champion. Going to the cover, but a kick out at one. Now look at this Fatu clotheslining Danielson out of the ring. But what is Fatu thinking of here? Going off, trying to put caution in the wind. But look at that, Danielson stopping him with a stiff right. And now we'll head to the top rope himself to try to do some flying. No thought of something else, but Fatu capitalizing on that absurdness of Bryan Danielson. Now the kendo stick in play by the Samoan werewolf, trying to strike down the dragon. Now look at this, Danielson. Now the kendo stick's on the other hand. And now breaking across the back of the Hardcore Champion. And now Bryan throwing Fatu across the outside area. Now a kick to the skull. And now the combo, but stopped by Fatu. Fatu possibly trying to revisit some weaponry, or possibly go shopping for some more. Sledgehammer now in play, but Bryan Danielson stops him from using it. Strike to the back. And now suplex, well executed on the outside. Danielson with those quick sparks of adrenaline is what's keeping him in this match right now. Throwing him inside the ring, quickly following suit. What are they thinking? Fatu now. Both men reversing their offense. Fatu trying his best to stay in control here. Again, will clothesline Bryan out of the ring, right next to that sledgehammer. And Fatu will again try to throw caution into the wind. Right here, suicide dive! Right there, and now the sledgehammer as a perfect accessory for some punishment. Over and over again into the midsection. And now the table just being dropped onto the lifeless body of Bryan Danielson. Thrown in the barricade to go for a drop kick, but Bryan able to get out of harm's way. And now we'll throw Fatu across the outside area, trying to get some distance, trying to think of what he'll do next. And now, again, just being countered by Fatu. These two are going hand in hand in practically every category. But now look at this, Fatu elevated DDT on the outside. And now the steel steps being dropped onto the skull of Bryan Danielson. And that's what I thought too. Blood has now been spilled by Bryan Danielson. Fatu trying to be ruthless, doing whatever he can to defend his championship, going for the cover after a bleeding Bryan Danielson. But a kick out at 2. Fatu starting to break. You're starting to see that rage that he's so well known for starting to boil to the surface. But look at this roll-up pin from Bryan Danielson. Roll-up pin, trying to get to the cover in the middle of the ring, but no. Kick out at 1. Double axe handle straight to the face of Fatu. Hoisting him back up. And now, look at this. And he gets the spike directly onto the skull of Jacob Fatu, and will use this opportunity to get some more weaponry. And now the ladder is put in play and goes face first on the Fatu. And now both men are wearing red. Throwing him across that outside area. Bryan Danielson, what is he looking for? He keeps on looking underneath the ring to try to find more weaponry. We don't know what he is looking for. And he gets the shot! The drop kick! The running knee to Fatu. And what is Danielson? And a burning hammer! A burning hammer from Danielson! When have we seen that? Into the ring now. Bryan Danielson, minutes ago, looked like he had no chance of winning this match. But now, look at this. We saw this again. The last match, waiting last second to come into the ring. Fatu throwing himself out of the ring to absolutely no one. But now, we'll get some reversals and get back at Danielson for very much that. We'll throw Bryan back into the ring. Now what is he thinking? He's looking for his spear! A spear to Danielson and looking to finish it right now. He gets it up. Elevated DDT! Cover to retain the title! And a kick out at 2 from Danielson! Danielson is not human. And now these two will trade some blows. Both men bleeding at the skull. Doing whatever they can to try to wear down. Bryan says, just bring it. Fatu now getting a leg up. And now both men step right to the other non-stop until one person breaks away, and that is Fatu. Bryan now, multiple strikes. And now Fatu able to capitalize. Samoan drop. I don't know who got the worst of that. Fatu looks like he's in pretty bad shape. Hoisting Danielson up. But Danielson able to capitalize. Both men just going counter for counter. And look at this. Elevated DDT. And that's... No, it's not! How the hell is Bryan still standing? Crossbody from the middle rope. And now, moonsault! That has got to be it! And Jacob Fatu retains the title. Bryan Danielson is strong, but not strong enough. The Samoan Werewolf rips apart and eats the American Dragon and retains the Hardcore Championship. Now this is worthy of a Hardcore Championship. Both men, weaponry, blood, near falls. This had it all. We were so confident that Danielson could have pulled off a miracle. Bryan beat Jacob Fatu a number of weeks ago, but he just couldn't do it when it mattered the most. Right here, elevated DDT, thinking that was enough, but this was the moonsault that has made Fatu one of the biggest icons in wrestling. Makes him win.
And still, ECW Hardcore Champion, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Congratulations, Jacob Fatu, for retaining, and when like that, that has been our show. Thank you so much for tuning in to ECW this week, and we will see you next time. I have been Scott Silver, and I will see you when I see you. Take care.